Whereas we see a lot of chains right now in the altcoin space turning into zombie chains, aka dead, this one is active. This one keeps building even during downtimes in the bear market phases of the crypto space. It's pretty much as alive as you can be, vibrant and active, all kinds of new partnerships and features being introduced, all kinds of new growth that we're seeing in its ecosystem. And it's been around since 2018, which means that its token is already in circulation. And maybe that sounds kind of obvious, but what I'm getting to here is the very important detail that there are no remaining token unlocks. Furthermore, it's also deflationary, which is probably the best characteristic that a project can have when it comes to tokenomics. Let's take another look at this project. It's one of our favorites. It has been for a long time, but it's got some new updates and some new developments that you're going to want to be aware of in this video. We're deep diving once again into Injective. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest. Maybe that's into INJ, maybe that's into so many of the other altcoins that we cover, those that we're big fans of and that we're enthusiastic about. Listen, if you choose to invest, I wish you well. But I'm chuckling here because, as you probably know, I am not a financial or investment advisor, not by any stretch of the imagination. So just keep that in mind. And also remember that this video by extension is not official financial or investment advice. Of course, we've talked about this project before, but let's start from the top here, wide angle perspective, and ask the question, what is Injective? Ticker INJ. It's a platform that represents a financial app chain. And as a refresher here, an app chain concentrates on a specific use case. They tend to cater to specific functions and offer other specific features. So things like more efficient processing, for example, reduced congestion, or maybe just lower transaction costs. And as already mentioned, Injective is a financial app, meaning that it caters to financial dApps. In fact, almost everything on Injective and its ecosystem really breathes and reflects finance. Check out our previous videos on Injective. There are a few of them, but a couple of the more recent ones are here. I'll be sure to include those in the description of this video. If you scroll down, you can check them out later. The Injective team, very importantly, built their platform on Cosmos, and they used its Tendermint consensus mechanism. Nowadays, it's not uncommon, but in 2018, this was a novelty. And what's impressive here is that Injective is also EVM compatible, which of course widely broadens its appeal and extends its reach. And so along the way, the team also attracted quite a lot of attention just via this characteristic, which is certainly a nice bonus. The consequence is that this resulted in pretty good funding. Backers of Injective included, for example, Binance Labs, Pantera Capital, and Mark Cuban. Let's talk a little bit here about the technical and non-technical features that Injective has to offer, because even though it is a financial chain, as I've mentioned, there are also general purpose dApps that can be found on Injective. Just as one quick example here, there are some pretty lively NFT and gaming scenes that you can find within the Injective ecosystem. But getting back to those technical parameters that I wanted to discuss here, the Injective team modified the Tendermint core. Ultimately, the goal here is to reduce block time, which should result in better scalability. There are also plug and play modules, which create ultra developer friendly conditions. And so consequently, devs can build really with minimal time and minimal resources. For example, there's an exchange module that offers various trading options. And this is at the heart of the protocol. Think of spot, derivatives, on-chain order books, and order matching. Injective is also MEV resistant, so it is not possible to favor certain transactions and have them processed faster. The FBA, that stands for frequent batch auction, this deals with this, and this effectively influences Injective's block times and TPS, transactions per second. Block times are currently 650 milliseconds, or 0.65 seconds, and its TPS is 25,000. That is fast. There's also an RWA module that allows easy tokenization of real-world assets. So, for example, the #1 RWA project by market cap, Ondo Finance, does in fact support Injective. And all of these technical differences are what can give a well-thought-out app chain really a significant edge over a general-purpose chain. These things, like scalability and FBA, are features that financial apps desperately need. So that was the more technical side of things. Let's consider some non-technical examples. First of all, there's a steady flow of collaborations with promising projects. I just mentioned Ondo Finance, as well as Athena, are using Injective as a platform. And it's a project that also welcomes institutions with open arms. One of the products on offer is an ETP, or exchange traded product, and major TradFi exchanges list these products and track the underlying asset. So, for example, INJ is exactly such an asset.
And so if this market pulls back hard under this level and then consolidates and comes back, we're likely to sell and stall.
So what exactly sets Injective apart from other similar projects? Well, as I mentioned before, one major positive is that the team keeps building and delivering. It's a versatile team as well, and they've shown that they're able to adapt very well to new market trends and conditions and activities. Just as one example here, the gas compression feature. This launched kind of recently, actually, in January of this year, 2024. And as the name implies, it compresses gas fees. This makes its transaction costs go way down, the lowest among all chains. It is $0.0003 on Injective, so that's a fraction of a penny, compared to $0.00045 on Solana, which is a close second, but still more expensive than Injective. It also powers the first tokenized index for BlackRock's BUIDL fund, that's BUIDL. This allows retail, like yourself and like myself, to access this RWA fund. Just note that the fund is only accessible through dApps on Injective, like Helix. And across all DEXs on Injective, the total trading volume exceeds $40 billion. The protocol's revenue is also on the rise. In August, so just last month, it reached the 6th spot with $1.4 million. Now, that's a pain point for many protocols, not having sustainable revenue. Injective is one of the positive exceptions here, and they're clearly using a model here that works and that is sustainable. This Altcoin Buzz video is sponsored by Republik, which is the first AI-powered social media platform for Web3. It uses AI for data analysis to aid the algorithm and to help creators find the best content ideas for their communities. Then they can maximize their income from monetizing their content. Republik takes over from where Friendtech started and takes SocialFi to the next level. For example, with Republik, you have no dealing with creator keys. Republik has the STOX Market, that's STOX, where, like any marketplace, you can buy or sell your interest in what a creator is doing or their influence. With the marketplace, you can earn RPK, that's Republik's native token, when monetizing your content. Try Republik's STOX Market today. Check out the link that you can find in the description of this video, and you can start earning and supporting your favorite creators in the process. Let's discuss INJ Tokenomics now, because this is another feature that really sets it apart, as I've already mentioned. All tokens are in circulation. That is fantastic to see. There are no more token unlock surprises with the ensuing sell-off pressure. That's great. I love projects that reach this stage. And taking a look here at the live price of INJ, we sit at $21.92. It's up slightly on the day. Now we're looking at a market cap here, which is fairly mature, $2.141 billion. If we look at the last year, so this is a max chart right now, taking a look at the last year, however, we can see a pretty steady pump of about 180%, despite the fact that it's still down from its highs, kind of in late March, early April of this year, 2024. That all-time high was specifically $52.62, which is only about a 2x from where we are now, 2 point something x. During the next leg up, this is a token, INJ, that I believe should and can do better than a 2x. Like I said, it's mature at $2.1 billion, but certainly more growth is possible, especially with everything that they're doing right, especially with those great tokenomics as well. And I really want to reiterate that point as much as possible, because it's such a great feature that INJ is, in fact, deflationary. I always appreciate this because it reduces, of course, the token supply. Currently, the protocol is in V3.0. Now this V3 cuts the INJ supply even more. So the protocol auctions off part of the accumulated fee. It burns the INJ it receives from the auction. So this is where we get into actual deflationary territory. To date, we're looking at roughly 6.17 million INJ tokens. That's around $120 million at current rates, a little bit more than that. Tokenomics aside, however, what really has to work for any project to be successful is its ecosystem. And Injective's ecosystem is already very impressive. Currently, it boasts almost 300 projects. And the nice thing here is that they're spread out over 13 different sectors. Some of the highlights includes analytics with DEX Screener, for example. You have a tool that helps you analyze tokens. Apps and tooling. You can find the Akash network in this category. In data, we have projects like Pith and Chainlink. 2 oracles are a part of this. And so is Google Cloud, by the way. With DeFi, we have no fewer than 28 protocols that call Injective home. Hydro Finance, a liquid staking protocol, is one example. Of course, we have DEXs. I've already mentioned Helix. There's also Dojo Swap that's worth mentioning. In terms of infrastructure, there's over 40 platforms that occupy this space. These include Solana, Near, Osmosis, and Stacks. Institutions such as big exchanges are also part of this. So Binance Labs, Coinbase Institutional, Gate Labs, even Pantera Capital. Even more infrastructure in the form of Wormhole or Axelar. Like I said, NFTs. Talus is the main marketplace here. Stable coins, including PYUSD, USDC, and USDT. All of them are here, basically. And very importantly, wallets as well. Kepler, Leap, Phantom, EVM wallets, and cold storage wallets are all available. So certainly a busy and very worthwhile and expanding ecosystem. And really, I only showed you the tip of the iceberg here. There's a lot more that goes beyond the scope of this video. This video isn't sponsored by Injective or anything like this. We're not taking or accepting any funds from the platform. But objectively speaking, this is just a terrific project with probably even better tokenomics. Fundamentally, they're doing everything right. And so objectively speaking, my recommendation, or what I would say to you, is don't ignore INJ. There's still a lot of growth that's available for the token, and that's saying nothing of its ecosystem, which I also suspect is going to continue to do very, very well and will continue to impress. A lot of projects within that ecosystem. We covered some of them, like I mentioned. Let me know which one your favorite is that finds itself within Injective. Maybe I didn't mention it. If that's the case, let me know your thoughts about it, which one it is in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts as well about INJ. Are there weaknesses here? Any glaring problems with Injective that I haven't called out? It's possible. Clearly, I have a bit of a bias here, but I've done my research. I like this one. If you disagree, tell me why, and I'll certainly consider your point of view.